Moses staked his brother's life on a football match. David drank until his body gave up. Daniel chased pleasure until sickness chased him back. This is not a movie but a real-life story. David, Moses, and Daniel grew up in the same street. They went to the same school, played football on the same dusty field, and shared dreams under the mango tree behind David's house. People in the area called them the three brothers, even though they were not from the same parents. They promised each other that one day they would become successful and help their families. At first, life was simple. They laughed easily and believed nothing bad could happen to them. As they grew older, small habits began to change them. These habits looked harmless at the start. Moses liked betting on football matches. David liked drinking alcohol with friends after work. Daniel liked spending time with girls. No one saw danger in these things. They all said, "It's just for fun." But fun slowly became something else. Moses was very smart in school. He loved numbers and games. When he first won a small bet, he felt happy. The joy entered his heart quickly. He thought betting was an easy way to make money. When he lost, he believed the next bet would fix everything. Soon, he started borrowing money. He even used his school fees to bet, telling himself he would win it back. Each loss made him more desperate. David learned a trade and earned small money every day. At first, he drank only on weekends. Later, he drank every evening. When he did not drink, he became angry and rude. He shouted at people and broke things. Alcohol made him feel calm, so he drank more. He stopped saving money. Sometimes he spent money that was not his. Daniel was handsome and loved attention. Girls liked him. When he felt sad or bored, he looked for women to make him feel happy. He believed being with many women meant he was strong and important. He stopped listening to advice. He spent money carelessly and did not think about tomorrow. Years passed. The three friends were still together, but their lives were moving in dangerous directions. They did not know that their choices were quietly preparing a heavy storm. Moses woke up early every day thinking about betting. Even before brushing his teeth, he checked match results on his phone. His mother worried about him. She asked him about school fees, but Moses always said, "Don't worry." Inside his heart, he was afraid. He owed people money. Some lenders started coming to his house. One day, Moses' younger brother fell sick. The doctor said the boy needed surgery. The family cried. They gathered money little by little. Moses was trusted to keep the money safe. He promised to protect it. That night, Moses could not sleep. He saw a big match on his phone. His mind told him, if you bet this money and win, you can pay for the surgery and still have extra. His hands were shaking. He knew it was wrong, but the desire was stronger. David's life was also falling apart. He drank in the morning, afternoon, and night. His boss warned him many times. One day, David came to work drunk and caused trouble. He was sent away. Instead of stopping, he drank more. His body became weak. He felt pain in his stomach but ignored it. Daniel stopped caring about feelings. Women were only a way to feel good for a short time. He did not protect himself. Friends warned him, but he laughed. He believed nothing bad could touch him. He did not think about the future children he might bring into the world. The three friends still met sometimes. They laughed, but the laughter sounded empty. Each of them was hiding fear behind a smile. The night Moses placed the bet with his brother's surgery money was quiet. His room was dark. He pressed the button with hope and fear mixed together. When the result came, he lost everything. Moses fell to the floor and cried. He had nothing left. The next morning, his brother's condition became worse. The surgery did not happen on time. David collapsed one afternoon while drinking. He was rushed to the hospital. The doctor spoke seriously. David's organs were damaged from too much alcohol. David felt scared for the first time. Daniel received calls from women he barely remembered. Many were pregnant. His life became noisy and confusing. He felt trapped but still did not stop. Their lives were now moving fast toward pain. The choices they made were waiting to show their true cost. The hospital room was quiet when Moses' brother finally died. The machine stopped making noise. Moses stood there like a stone. His mother screamed and held her head. His father sat down slowly, like his strength had left him. Moses wanted to speak, but no words came out. He knew the truth. The money for the surgery was gone because of him. Nobody asked him questions that day. Nobody blamed him with words. But their eyes were heavy. Those eyes followed him everywhere. After the burial, Moses stopped leaving his room. He did not eat well. He did not sleep well. Every time he closed his eyes, he remembered pressing the bed button. He remembered the lost message on his phone. His brother's face came back again and again. Moses tried to bet again to escape the pain, but it only made him feel worse. People he owed money started coming again. They knocked on the door and shouted. His parents sold things in the house to pay some debts. Moses felt smaller every day. David was still in the hospital. Tubes were attached to his body. He could not drink alcohol there, and his body reacted badly. He shook and cried like a child. The doctor told him clearly that if he continued drinking, he would die soon. David nodded but felt empty inside. Alcohol had been his comfort for many years. Without it, he felt lost. Visitors stopped coming. Some friends did not want to see him like that. Daniel's life was full of noise. Phone calls came day and night. Women were asking for money, food, and hospital bills. Daniel tried to run from responsibility. He moved from one place to another. One day, he fell sick and felt weak. He went for a test. The result changed his life forever. He was told he had HIV. His knees became weak. He remembered every careless choice he made. The three friends were now broken in different ways. The road they chose was showing them the end. Moses finally left his room one evening and went outside. Children were playing football, just like he used to do with his brother. He watched them quietly. Tears ran down his face. He wanted to turn back time, but time does not listen to anyone. He decided to stop betting, but stopping was not easy. His body and mind were used to it. Every day felt like a fight. David was discharged from the hospital, but he was not healed. His body was weak. He tried to walk, but no one trusted him. When pain came, he wanted alcohol, but he remembered the doctor's words. Some days he stayed strong. Some days he failed and drank again. Each failure made him hate himself more. Daniel told his family about his sickness. They cried. Some people avoided him. Others blamed him. The women he had slept with suffered too. Some tested positive. Some children were born into pain. Daniel felt guilt like a heavy bag on his back. He wanted to change, but his past kept chasing him. One day, the three friends met again. They sat quietly. No jokes. No laughter. Just silence. They looked at each other and saw pain, regret, and fear. They knew they were the reason their lives were falling apart. The days became harder. Moses tried to get a job, but his mind was not stable. Death followed him everywhere. Some nights, he stood outside his brother's grave and cried until morning. He promised never to bet again, but the damage was already done. David's health got worse. His skin changed color. He could not eat well. Medical bills kept rising. He felt like a burden to his family. Alcohol had taken everything from him, his job, his health, and his pride. Daniel started treatment, but his body was weak. Some of the women he got pregnant were angry. Some were sick. One of them was his cousin. The shame was heavy. Daniel stopped going out. He stayed indoors, thinking about how pleasure destroyed his life. Their stories were now full of pain. Each choice they made in the past was now standing in front of them. There was no escape. only consequences. By the end of that year, Moses lost his parents' trust completely. David lost his strength. Daniel lost his joy. Life became slow and painful. They all learned the truth too late. Moses tried to rebuild his life, but the past followed him like a heavy load on his head. He stopped betting, but the hunger for it did not stop immediately. Every time he saw people talking about football, his heart beat faster. He avoided friends and stayed alone most times. He worked small jobs, carrying loads at the market, washing cars, doing anything to earn money. Still, the money was never enough. His parents barely spoke to him. Not because they hated him, but because the pain was too much. The house that once had laughter was now quiet. At night, Moses lay on his mat, staring at the ceiling. He remembered his brother's smile. He remembered how his brother trusted him. That memory hurt more than hunger. Sometimes, Moses hit his own chest in anger. He asked himself why he did not stop. Why he did not think. Regret became his daily food. Even when he tried to help others, people did not trust him. They remembered his debts and mistakes. Moses was alive, but inside, he felt empty. David's condition became worse. His body could no longer fight the damage inside him. He visited the hospital often. Doctors talked, but their faces showed little hope. David tried to stay away from alcohol, but his body was already broken. Some days, he vomited blood. Other days, he could not stand without support. His family sold property to pay hospital bills. David watched his parents suffer because of him. That pain was deeper than any sickness. One evening, David sat alone outside his house. He looked at the sky and remembered his younger days. He remembered playing football with Moses and Daniel. He whispered sorry to no one in particular. He wished he listened when people warned him. Alcohol gave him short joy but took his future. David cried quietly, ashamed of himself. He knew he would not live long. Daniel's life was full of rejection. Some people refused to shake his hand. Some whispered behind his back. He lost friends and respect. The women he hurt were still suffering. Some children asked questions he could not answer. Daniel tried to support them, but his health and money were failing. Treatment was expensive. Each day, he swallowed pills and prayed they would work. Daniel often sat alone and thought about his actions. Pleasure had blinded him. He did not think about the consequences. Now, he carried shame, sickness, and responsibility he could not handle. He stopped chasing women. He stopped going out. He looked older than his age. Fear lived in his eyes. One rainy day, Moses visited David. David was very thin. Moses almost did not recognize him. They talked slowly. No long stories. Just regret. David told Moses to learn from his mistake and never go back to betting. Moses nodded with tears in his eyes. He felt like life was punishing all of them together. Daniel joined them later. The three friends sat quietly again. This time, their silence was heavy. They talked about the past and how everything went wrong. There was no blame. Only the truth. They knew their choices destroyed their lives. As months passed, things did not improve. Moses was still struggling. David was getting weaker. Daniel was fighting sickness and shame. Life had changed them completely. They now understood something important: small bad habits, when ignored, grow into big disasters. David's health reached a dangerous stage. He could no longer walk without help. His breathing became hard, like he was always tired. One night, his mother rushed him to the hospital again. Doctors did their best, but the damage was deep. David knew his end was near. He asked to see Moses and Daniel. When they came, he held their hands with weak fingers. His voice was low, but clear. He told them alcohol lied to him. It promised peace but gave him pain. He begged them not to destroy what little life they had left. That same night, David passed away. His parents cried until their voices were gone. The burial was quiet. People shook their heads and whispered about wasted life. Moses and Daniel stood beside the grave, unable to cry. They had cried too much already. Losing David felt like losing the last piece of their childhood. After David's death, Moses fell deeper into sadness. He blamed himself for many things, even things he did not do. He felt like everyone around him was dying because of bad choices. One evening, Moses collapsed while walking. His body was weak from stress and hunger. People rushed him to a clinic. The doctor said his heart was not strong. Moses laughed bitterly. He said, "I am alive, but I died long ago." Moses tried to live quietly. He helped his parents more. He avoided betting completely. But guilt did not leave him. One night, he went to his brother's grave and stayed there till morning. Cold rain fell, but he did not move. A few days later, Moses became sick. His body could not fight anymore. He died silently in his sleep. His parents lost 2 sons because of one bad habit. Daniel was now alone. Moses and David were gone. He felt like the world had closed its door on him. His health became worse. The treatment was no longer working well. He became very thin. He sold his phone and clothes to buy medicine. Sometimes, he had nothing to eat. He thought about the women and children he left in pain. He wished he could undo everything. One afternoon, Daniel called some young boys in the area. He told them his story with tears in his eyes. He warned them about careless living. That night, Daniel's body gave up. He died quietly, with no noise, no fame, and no joy. The street where the 3 friends grew up became quiet. The mango tree was still there, but the laughter was gone. Parents used their story to warn children. 3 bright lives ended badly, not because they were evil, but because they ignored warnings and loved pleasure more than wisdom. This story is painful because it is real. Addiction does not shout when it comes. It smiles. It starts small. But it destroys slowly and completely. Moses lost his brother and his life to betting. David lost his health and future to alcohol. Daniel lost his respect, health, and life to uncontrolled desire. Life lesson and moral. Bad habits are easy to start, but very hard to stop. Pleasure that has no control will always demand a heavy price. Listen to advice early. Choose discipline over momentary joy. If you do not control your habits will control your ending. If this story adds value to you, please do well to give me a like, share, and comment on the video to share your thoughts. Most importantly, please support me by subscribing to this channel, turn on the notification button and follow for more interesting stories. Thanks for watching.